I'm always excited to see this hero. Not the most popular one in the competitive meta, though. They have tons of mobility, I give them that, from his Dark Rift to Chen's recalls and just in general their speed. So this is a team that I would expect to move throughout the map consistently if you're J.Storm. And there's a couple of things that Complexity has to answer that. The Nyx Assassin Vendetta, of course, will be annoying, and the Nature's Prophet Teleport. Remaining. But Troll Warlord is the 4th pick for Complexity.
5 seconds
looking
remaining.
at what he's up against, I suppose. Yeah, good hero against Sven, which right now we certainly are expecting it to be a core Sven. Doesn't have to be just yet, but it could be.
Yeah, I mean, this Troll Warlord, he's a hero I feel I've been the one hyping up in this region. He just looks so powerful. He doesn't really lose any lanes, and once he gets a tiny bit of farm, he really is pretty immortal, especially with his ultimate and some lifesteal. And versus Underlord, I think it's a pretty good matchup for him because, you know, people kind of underestimate the amount of magic damage that comes out. But, you know, he has the 2 sets of axes that you're able to spam one after another. You know, you'll have the slow on the Underlord. The Keeper of Light might be able to even land a good Illuminate. And, you know, if you get a few lock-in snares, Underlord, not a high armor hero. And he might just go down.
TA ban from J.Storm. Respecting Limp and what he can do with that hero. So not going to see the Templar Assassin. Complexity. Again, it's just really a matter of, do they think it's going to be that core Sven, or will they maybe go a different direction? Because they could easily do something like
5 seconds remaining.
A mid Lina with support Sven and Chen support, and then final pick a safe lane hero here if you're J.Storm. So it all depends on what they feel the most comfortable with.
Yeah, I think we're more likely going to see the 1 position Sven, because I think recently Resolution really likes that hero. I think it's, you know, it is pretty decent at the moment. But obviously the Nyx Assassin into the 1 position Sven is pretty damn nice, because you find him farming. There's nice setup for your Spike Carapace off the cleave, you know, and then you have the follow up from the rest of the gank. But, you know, it seems to be it's time for the mid heroes from both these teams. And there are a few very good mids that are remaining, you know. I think the OD is one that really stands out to me. Could be really nice against someone like the Underlord.
Yeah, no, OD would feel pretty good here. Man, I'm still just caught up, and I think Complexity is in a similar spot too with this final ban. I don't know, because this isn't the friendliest Sven game right now. You're dealing with Sprout, you're dealing with Coddle, can be annoying. You're dealing with the Troll Warlord that we talked about, the Blinding Light of Coddle, the Troll Warlord, Whirling Axes. It's I really think we could see a switch up here from J.Storm and mid Lina, and then a core option that makes more sense. That one that's better at dealing with those instead. But it is going to be a first final pick for Complexity, at least.
Yeah, exactly. J.Storm, they are in the enviable position of having the final pick. So that means if you do need to make those flexible changes, you are able to make your whole draft fit together. And now Complexity, they have to pick a mid hero who's not going to get beaten, and so they go for the sniper. Okay, this is he's a very high source of damage. You know, if he's able to output a few right clicks on these squishy heroes like the Chen and the Lina, that's going to be an easy kill. And at the moment, for the side of J.Storm, they don't really have the most jump. Eventually, they'll have jump when the Sven gets to his blink dagger, but that's, you know, maybe a second item, if not a third, if the game's going badly. So they identify it as being a pretty decent sniper game. So I'm curious what J.Storm go for here.
Yeah, and to my point, I really think that's just another hero that's like, is this really the best Sven game? So 20 seconds to choose for J.Storm. But you know, I'm not helping my own argument by not giving any suggestions. There's honestly not much I can really think about here. Like, I was thinking maybe Juggernaut, but that's not even necessarily great against Troll. So
the thing is that there are two good heroes who are really good versus the sniper.
Alchemist.
I was gonna say this as a suggestion earlier for Brial, because this is so I'm not going to talk about who I think of. This Alchemist. So you said yesterday they ran this lineup versus Beast Coast. They ran this exact same lineup, except instead of the Underlord, they had a Darkseer. And that was a game they absolutely dominated with Brial's Alchemist. But this time, I don't think it's that favorable an Alchemist game, because you're versus this Nyx Assassin. You know, there's so much setup. You know, you'll be around with your Radiance on. They'll get so many easy stuns. Limp's going to be able to defend high ground, and both the Troll and him, they're going to do so much right-click damage. I'm not sure it's such a favorable Alchemist game, but admittedly, you know, Brawl on his Alchemist, he comes online very, very early. But J.Storm, they think he can do it, and who's to doubt them? He was able to do it yesterday.
I like how you're wording that. They think that he can do it, so that's all that matters. Yeah, it's I do not know. That is a into the Nyx Assassin specifically is certainly the biggest issue. You know, the obvious idea of spiked carapace on top of that acid spray, and it's a free stun. You mentioned the Radiance burn even too. So, of course, that's an item that he's going to get. Yeah, it's an ambitious Alchemist pick for sure from J.Storm. Will they be able to make it work? We'll see. And it's not even like it's a really great matchup into a sniper, I wouldn't think. I think Limp's going to do great here in the mid lane. So.
One thing I do want to point out is we said they were lacking catch or jump for the sniper, and when Bryle did play this Alchemist yesterday, he went for the second item, Blink Dagger. So maybe that's just, you know, how they see the Alchemist when they play it. You know, that he is going to be a hero doing this early fighting, early initiation, because when they played this, they had a very strong tempo lineup. You know, Resolution, he didn't try to scale insanely hard. He did go for that Halibut, the item that I remember you praised him time and time again, saying this was the best item you've ever seen.
Yes.
So, you know, they like to hit that timing with the Alchemist, and so maybe it's not such a bad game, because at that point, I'm not sure they'll have the damage to be able to kill off Bryle if he does come online around that 15 to 20 minute mark.
Oh yeah, I'm expecting to see Heaven Salvord on Sven for sure this game. And great against Troll Warlord, and gonna be decent against Sniper, of course. So absolutely wouldn't be surprised to see that. But yeah, it's just to go back to again the Alchemist, and is he gonna be able to have a good time in this game? Z-Freak, we just saw the previous game as the Nyx Assassin, how much work he's able to do. He did have a Darkseer helping out quite a bit, so you can't expect a very same performance that he had, but. Still, I think it's pretty obvious to go back to. I'm favoring Complexity just from the draft alone, but how the game plays out here, we'll see how it looks.
Yeah, the thing is, Bryle's Alchemist, he was really, really good at it yesterday. But that was versus
what does that matter? Yeah, I don't know. You said it.
You know what? I'm going to be the contrarian here. I'm going to go for J.Storm. You know, these series have been really fun. I'm going to hope for a Game 3 and put all my marbles on Bryle's Alchemist, and let's hope it happens. But I do definitely think it is a sniper-favored matchup in mid, but Alchemist, he will recover when he goes to the jungle.
Mm-hmm. All right, Sniper versus Alchemist. He's at the top lane. They were harassing Tavo. As one of the trains going to be taken over by Chen. To hit him a couple times with the LSA out of range for Fear. So Tavo, he's fine. He's in this 1 versus 3 lanes. Used to it, though. Going to make up for it, just hugging the tower. Using those trains the best that he can. Underlord, double stout shield on him. Go with the 6 tangos.
Tavo's in real trouble now. They landed the Sven stun into the Light Strike away, and they're diving down. They are able to get that first blood on Fear. Fear's Alina, man. He is. Every time we see it, he goes to work.
Yeah. Very comfortable support option for him. Very aggressive one, of course. So, yeah, good start for J.Storm. You got bottom lane, and going back to it is Underlord using that solo spot, but now Nyx Assassin has made his way to the top lane with the TP, so clearly Complexity already making the early adjustments. Although right now, Nyx Assassin, well, it actually is a 2 versus 2 because March is currently looking for something to take over. He's not finding the best creep with that level 1 Holy Persuasion. He'll take the Alpha Wolf, not the most ideal in the early laning phase, but it's a damage amp.
Yeah, just give them that tiny bit of damage. I think maybe he was looking for the Satyr, just, you know, to obviously give you that sustain, give you the Hadouken in lane was always pretty damn fun.
He is running over. Well, actually, yeah, I don't think you can get Satyr level 1, though, the Holy Persuasion. Because of it's too, I think you need to have level 3, actually. It's either 2 or 3.
Yeah, creep level minimum, and the Satyr's level 6, so yeah, you are totally right about that. Sorry, it's been a very long while since I've played the chat.
That's one of those changes. It's like, yeah, wait, neutrals have levels? What? Yeah, kind of makes you really look at that as far as what you can actually take over. So Tavo, he's fine, taking some more damage, but has those trans to once again help as one of them gets taken out there. Moo, he seems like he's doing all right. Again, it's been more of a 2 versus 1 lately. But at the same time of it, Troll having free farm. He's 10 and 5. And then there's the mid matchup, which is slightly favoring Sniper, 12-3 versus 10-1 Alchemist. You do look at Bryle. All he has is a salve right now. He has a Fairy Fire as well, but he's gonna have to pop that salve soon. Would be my guess.
A Limp. He's not getting aggressive here. I thought he might try and get aggressive onto Bryle there, since he was very low with the salve. But Limp himself clearly not wanting to dive the tower, considering he doesn't have any health either.
Tavo, he's in trouble top lane again. He's got teleport, but there's the LSA, and there's going to be enough for the kills. We keep talking about fear on this Lina, but it really is this combo. Like, it's just such a solid duo of the Sven and Lina. It's pretty classic even. They're making it work consistently between yesterday and today from what we've seen. Another example there.
Yeah, you're totally right. It's not just the fact that he's able to land the Light Strike away by himself. They do enable the Lina and play very well around it. So, it's not just a solo performance. It's a team performance, and it's also like that with the Chen. It's because you see him rotating to the mid lane, and I wouldn't be surprised, if he gets the chance, he'll go for that recall, giving them the lane pressure. And so for the side of J.Storm, they seem to be doing, a lot better than previously. Resolution #1 in the net worth, but Mu seems to be the one who's having the rough time.
Yeah, having a rough time, but understandable for the matchup, and he's doing all right. He's got the stick on him, gonna get booed soon. So I really do think, J.Storm is considering. I suppose that the laning phase wasn't necessarily going to be the issue for J.Storm. It was more, keep going back to the Alchemist and the development of him. And Alchemist currently in the jungle now, finding himself farming that. Instead is Resolution, Stormhammer on Tavo. Impel already came out from Z-Freak. They're just ignoring Z-Freak, though. They're going right for Nature's Prophet. And there's not much more Z-Freak can do about this. One more auto attack, and Resolution gets it. Z-Freak's like, please, guys, focus me. Well, now they oblige. They're going to go for him, and that's a kill on Nyx Assassin. Oh, boy. It's a disaster up there for Complexity.
Yeah, this combo in the top lane, and especially because Fear has got so much farm, with those arcane boots completed, now Resolution, he has another 2 stuns in the tank, and it feels like no one for the side of Complexity will be able to contest this duo, and we're not even at the 5-minute mark. So, once that catapult gets here, I think this tower is pretty much forfeit, but they're setting up for the 5-minute runes already.
Like how Chen is taking over mid with a Mud Golem. Z-Freak, though, speaking of the runes, not only does he not get it, but now he's in plenty of trouble. Spike Carapace is still well on cooldown as he just used it. LSA hits. And Fear. Well, I guess Bryle actually credit for the kill right there, probably for the better. So the bounty runes, especially with an Alchemist, is very important to look at. And it's 2 for 1 for Complexity. There's still a 4th one up. Nobody's gotten it yet, but it probably will be a 3 for 1. So Complexity, they do get the favor there at least with the bounty rune control.
Yeah, but in this top lane, no one from the side of Complexity is coming back to contest this. So I think this tier 1 tower is basically forfeit, and the place to look towards is this mid lane now with March, who's been found by Limp in the trees.
Yep, he's dead. A couple headshot procs. No chance to get away from that shrapnel there. I noticed Chen taking over the mid lane. Really just soaking up experience. That's one thing about Chen. He'll be under-leveled quite a bit. And so understandable he's trying to make up for some of that in the mid, but you're very under-leveled against a sniper. Clearly that backfired there. So Sniper's, in fact, going to find a double damage rune as well.
The one thing March did do before he came down, which I don't know if you noted, was he dominated the Dire siege creep, and that means they're not able to push this tier 1 mids anymore. So even though they probably wouldn't have been able to defend it from Limp, but because they don't have that siege creep, they're not able to take this tier 1 tower.
Oh, they want this kill. Yeah, they're going to go for it. Limp, double damage rune. The auto attacks are enough. Tavo's saying, you know what, it's not even worth TPing in. You got this, man. No assassinate on Limp. They're manning up against March now. Finally, Tavo does come in with the teleport, but now Limp is going to die, and March survives for the time being. So Complexity going a little too deep for everything. They got the Alchemist kill, but instead of getting out, they got too greedy. And now Fear, that Dragon Slave, going to get a killing spree for him as he takes out Kato. Tavo still running. Murko goes down meanwhile. Where the hell was that?
In the bottom lane, they just killed the Unlord, but I think he died to the last tick of the Firestorm, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the Firestorm, it took him down, as well as a right click from a creep, apparently.
Okay, well, so man up there, and the 2 versus 1 backfires. So yeah, he did get the kill first, I suppose, but goes down, as he mentioned, to the Firestorm dot after. And J.Storm continues quite the lead. Yeah, killing Limp there too. Went too deep. pretty big for them. 2,000 net worth lead, though, right now for J.Storm. And Alchemist making his progress as the levels start adding up. He's third right now net worth.
Radiant's middle tower
So Fear gets this very nice kill in the middle. He was able to clear up a lot of those and, you know, obviously able to kill Limp. He's very close to his level 6, so he might want to soak it by sitting here in the mid lane. And now he has it. If Limp gets a bit too aggressive and he lands a nice light strike away, I think he can solo kill the sniper.
Oh, yeah. Limp, he's in trouble. LSA if it lands. There we go. Dragon Slave, Laguna Blade. Okay, it's not as much damage, but with Sven showing up, it absolutely will be enough damage. Perfect timing on the TP. That is coordination at its finest there from J.Storm. So both of these teams have definitely had glimpses of looking very good when it comes to their teamwork.
Yeah, so Fear and Resolution really working together. Well, we saw it here in this top lane. And now, because they were able to get that kill, they have this siege creep that March controls, and they're trying to take this tier 1 tower away from the side of Complexity. 3-3 does have the Illuminate, so they might be able to defend it, and it looks like with the TP coming in from them, most certainly they are going to back off.
Yeah, no point to force the issue at that time. Divine Favor on Catapult's nice, but what you're up against there, probably not getting the tower. So back off, Sniper. He's got quad Wraithband now to go with the power treads. He is queuing up the Mithril Hammer, but also the Maelstrom, of course, as the creation. So that's an idea of what Sniper's at least thinking. But Alchemist has now taken over top farm. He's got 1,800 gold saved up. The Radiance is looking pretty good as far as the timing goes. Lena, Divine Favor, going to heal him up, sitting inside of the Shrapnel, but it's just enough heal to keep him alive, and Fear stays alive in the long run. That Complexity was committing to that kill.
Yeah, Limp, I don't know if you've noticed, but he doesn't actually have a point in his Assassinate, so they're not able to use that to clean up the Lena kill, because he's just gone for a more heavier farming right-click build with the 2 points in the headshot, as well as the 4 into the Shrapnel. And he's deviating... sorry, I was just going to say he's deviating from yesterday's build, where we saw him go for the quick Necrobooks, because it doesn't really help their lineup as much anymore.
That's true, yeah, that was something. That is interesting to me, though, with the lack of headshot. I noticed at level 6 he didn't take it, or Assassinate, excuse me. But yeah, at level 8 to not have it by now, considering how the game's been working, that I feel like he really should have it by now. But anyways, Bounty Rune fight, Resolution, he's in trouble. The Whirling Axes, the headshot procs keep kicking in, and Resolution does fall. So the Bounty Rune's picked up by J.Storm. But they do lose a life of Sven, and it looks like it was a 2-for-2 trade overall. In fact, Tabo, he ports in. He tries to get March. March eats to the tree. The Whirling Axe, maybe. The ranged auto attack is just enough from Miracle. So just in range, secures that kill. And Complexity going to try to work on their first tower kill this game.
Yeah, it's exactly the fight around the Bounty Rune. You know, the same time Bounty Runes spawn, Catapults also spawn. So it's a great time to win a fight and then transition it towards the tower. But for the side of Complexity, they have managed to kill Bryle once, but I'd really like them to kill him at least once before another time before this Radiance comes online. It's that kind of stuff that can just set the timing back enough for you to be able to take the game against the Alchemist.
Yeah. Well, he's over here. He's got 3,600 gold, so at least the Sacred Relic just around the corner. Z-Freak. He's got him with the Vendetta. He hit level 6 shortly ago, and with the Sentry, he's going to use an Illusion to try to toy with him. We'll see if the Radiant over-commits to that or not. Doesn't seem like they are, and Z-Freak instead is going to sit comfortably over here. There is no Sentry next to him right now. So if they go for even a smoke play or something, then that would be thwarted off quickly. But he's getting all this information for his teammates as Miracle top lane. Sven was running at him, but that's the cue for Miracle to fall back now.
Yeah, I don't think Resolution was serious about getting the kill. But, you know, when someone pops their Warcry and runs at you, you think there are people behind him, even though the side of J.Storm weren't quite there yet. Interestingly, I'm looking at the build here on Miracle, and he's completed Yasha, and he's going right into that BKB. So the side of Complexity, they are looking to brawl at least a bit. When into this big game, they want to be fighting the side of J.Storm with that early BKB, I think.
Oh yeah, BKB is really good this game for Troll, it feels like, so can understand that there. As I mentioned, the Yasha in hand, and they're smoked up. They might find Fear. Fear's walking right into them. Little does he know. Z-Freak with the open, and that should be an easy couple of auto attacks later for the kill on Troll Warlord. Can they catch Resolution? Talk about a big kill. He has a TP.
The haste stream here on Z-Freak. He actually doesn't have any mana for the Impale, so Resolution, I think he might have been able to get away with a TP out, but 3-4-3s here, especially with the Will-O-Wisp. I don't think Resolution's getting out of this one.
Well, we've said that before about Miracle last game, and he somehow made it out. Resolution, probably a different story here. Blend by pushback, and yeah, Miracle, he does secure the kill. So, again, a big kill for Complexity on that one. As Chen's attempting to TP out from the mid lane, he will be able to do so. Able to push in that mid tower. So, well played by Chen, actually, using that Divine Favor on top of the catapult that he had. As Vlad's pick up on Nature's Prophet, by the way. So Tavo being good utility there. Again, Tavo's not necessarily having the acceleration that we saw yesterday on his Nature's Prophet, but he's working on it.
Yeah, but the thing is, this Vlad's, it really does tell us that we were right about the game plan of Complexity, is that they want to be fighting into J.Storm, and they when they're winning those fights, they want to be taking pushes, and taking towers is definitely enabled by this from Warlords. So they got a few kills, but Bryle, he has his Radiance, and the rest be coming for him on the courier now. So the side of J.Storm, I think they'll wait for the Blink Dagger here on Bryle, and then they'll probably look to fight.
Nyx Assassin, he does make it out. He was right next to a sentry. They pinged him out. They even use a scan, but they cannot find him. And so he TPs away. Resolution, meanwhile, Shrapnel, he's in trouble. Maybe not. He's got plenty of backup. Divine Favor comes in. He's good to go. You mentioned the Radiance being delivered. And officially on Alchemist now. So Bryle farming around the mid lane. But yeah, Complexity, the timing is clearly coming up. You mentioned the BKB. They already have at least the Vlad's on Nature's Prophet. He's looking for a full pipe next even, so he really is going to be that utility for the team. And then Nyx Assassin, a little bit of change up from Z-Freak here. He's going to go for the Meteor Hammer over the Yules, which he went last game.
Yeah, I quite like that because they don't have as much disabled, reliable stuns. The only one they do have is the Impale, which is a pretty hard one to hit. So, just having that bit more lockdown when they don't have it. I really like the Meteor Hammer, and, you are able to combo it, and they don't have someone like the Juggernaut who's going to be able to possibly get that spin off.
15-minute bounty runes. J.Storm making sure to get the top two. The bottom two should belong to Complexity, though. And sure enough, Sven, clicking on him, he went the Echo Saber first. We do see the Heaven's Halberd queued up. And yeah, fantastic item, especially this game. Against the Troll, even Sniper. We'll want to blink for sure as well, eventually too, but we'll probably see it after. Of course, a BKB would also be nice, but he's running into a trap. He doesn't realize it. Warcry, Hand of God. They're making sure to see Light Miracle. Can't get away, though. He popped Battle Trance for this, and now he's in trouble himself. He's just going to man up still. LSA, the Laguna Blade, and now Troll Warlord is likely dead. He went for the all-in early kill with the Battle Trance aggressively, and it's times like that where you kind of wish you didn't, as this is going to be a Dark Rift to the top lane, it looks like. Yeah, they're going to make their way top and push.
I absolutely love this from the side of J.Storm. Complexity, they overstep their bounds. They think they have more damage than they do, able to kill this tanky Sven. And, very often you see this Dark Rift being used as a defensive tool, but it can be also used as a great pushing tool. So, they get a big kill of the safe lane, of the carry for the side of Complexity, and instantly they're into this top lane, continuing the push. So, it's a really nice heads up for the side of J.Storm there.
Tavo almost has that Hand of Midas finish, so trying to really get his recovery going in this game. But you are starting to see Alchemist now pulling ahead quite a bit, over 2,000 net worth lead. Of course, he has the Blink. Talked about how that's an important item to really get on top of the Sniper. And then the Manta Style is queued up to follow. So speaking of Sniper, Dragonlance almost finished. He is working on, he was working on a Hurricane Pike. He might have changed his mind for the time being. But at least going to get the Dragonlance. Tank up. Alchemist.
They do see Bryle here. They get the stun over onto the Keep of Light, but I don't think they're going to be able to get this kill.
Limp, if they kill him, that's big. In fact, they're going to catch him with the Underlord, although in comes the Coddle ultimate. That disco ball holding them in place on top of the Illuminate, and down goes Chen, the Meteor Hammer as well. Alchemist completely locked down. The Assassinate coming through, not enough damage for the kill, though. Lina's trying to fill the kill. Limp, he's just surviving at this point. Miracle, though, he will be able to finish the job on the Alchemist. The Dark Rift not nearly in time. Limp, you look at how close he is to tying. Fear really wants to find him. He is still hanging around. If Limp goes uphill, he is dead. Uh-oh.
Oh, no, Limp.
He has no clue. LSA, the Dragon Slave, and down goes Limp. Oh, he did such a good job of surviving initially, but he does die in the end.
Yeah, that fight, I was so impressed that Limp, you know, he was able to get away from them on like almost 200 HP. Even without that 4-star, he was able to live and make it back to the safety of the tower. They had Fear flanking round on the back here, and he was able to get an easy kill, but you know, they killed Chen, and eventually when they rotate in with the Troll Warlord, they're able to clean up the Alchemist as well. So even though you do eventually lose Limp at the end, any kills you can get on Bryle, you take them, especially this early on. So I think that fight goes in favor of Complexity.
This is the big timing, though, for Complexity, in my opinion at least. The BKB's finished on Miracle, or needs to be delivered here. So right now he's currently by himself, by the way, and it's not even delivered yet, but he is going to be fine. It's coming out, so that's really one of the early keys for them. And we talked about the Hurricane Pike for Sniper, I do think is another tool that they're certainly looking forward to. But you know, we saw the last fight, especially with Coddle's Will-O-Wisp, that on top of a Meteor Hammer from Nyx Assassin. They have some makeshift wombo combo potential to come out. And, oh, Centaur is going to be denied by Moo, as Limp was just about to assassinate it right there. J.Storm has taken over the Dire jungle for now, though, with their positioning.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, they've just been very focused on this this tier 2. They don't want them to be able to get it. Z-Freak, they have dusted them up. They get the stun, but it's instant spike carapace. Well, eventually that should wear off. Oh, but 3-4-3. It's a nice Will-O-Wisp onto a whole bunch of them. They're going for the Meteor Hammer here on Z-Freak.
Miracle again, the aggressive battle trance when he did a BKB. So he's going to be disarmed on top of this to help his Halberd finish, and now he BKB's going in, but he doesn't have a battle trance. Bryle, though, he's caught in no man's land. He finishes off Coddle, but it's going to come in a massive cut to him. The Dark Rift unable to get there in time. Oh, Fear's left behind. The other three get out. Tavo, he's now pursue a Fear. He does not have a stopper himself. Assassinate, not going to be happening. And Lina makes it out. Yeah, that was... Miracle really uses his battle trance aggressively. He presses R right as he initiates now a couple of times. Like, I understand the idea of the whole lifesteal and the more attack speed, but you have to be careful.
Yeah, Miracle, I thought, exactly as you say, he was in real trouble because he was right here on these front lines, but Bryle just getting way too aggressive there on the Alchemist. He's zoned out, you know, zones himself out from his entire team by making that deep blink, and they just they have more than enough damage to be able to take him down at this point. He doesn't have anything like a man style, like an AC for that survivability, and so again, this is the second time in a team fight in a row that they've lost the Alchemist, and he is, you don't want to be losing him in these early stages, and you can see there's only a 1k advantage for the side of J.Storm, and in an Alchemist game, that basically means Complexity are ahead.
Nyx Assassin having fun with the Underlord there. Throwing out the spiked carapace on top of the Firestorm, but Nyx Assassin also going that Spirit Vessel now. We've talked about that, how, again, a great item against the Alchemist, the Chemical Rage active. Negates so much of that regen, so absolutely an item that Complexity will want to have too. Lina, been working on an axe. Fear's, what is he? He's 5-1-7 in this game, really the best hero kill stat line, so continues to do work as a position for Lina. Building an axe and just much more damage as a result, being that pure damage, of course. Good against the troll.
I mean, we have seen for the side of J.Storm, they do seem to be lacking just that little bit of damage, with Limp able to walk away with the Troll Warlord, you know, able to pop his BKB and live on, you know, very little health. And so having that BKB piercing damage, as well as the increase of the damage you get from the Laguna Blade, I can't say I don't like the item. It's, you know, it will just help them be able to secure those kills and stop Complexity being able to escape on these very low health totals.
Sven going the BKB, so he's choosing not to get the Blink Dagger, at least yet. Wants another way to just stand strong in these fights. And they already have one on Alchemist. As far as their initiation is concerned, they take out a tier 2 tower top. Hurricane Pike, though, officially delivered to Limp now, so he does have his nice safety net tool there. Go with the Maelstrom with the farming, and BKB queued up for him as well. Merkel continues to be pretty deep in the Radiant side. Has backup. Working on the Basher. Basher, of course, a really good item on Troll Warlord now, ever since the change.
Yeah, I do find it a bit curious, though, that Miracle's going right for this Basher. I mean, we did highlight that they are lacking Disable, which is why we like the Meteor Hammer on the Nyx Assassin, but I would still like to see him get a tiny bit more survivability, you know, maybe just finish off that Sange for the Sange and Yasha, you know, or start the way towards the Satanic, but it looks like all-out aggression is the idea here for the Blexi as he forgoes buyback for that Basher.
He is considering, I feel like he's doing decent at keeping up with the Alchemist at least, although Alchemist is now about 3,000 net worth, but Greevil's agreed to thank for that. Tavo, hand a minus pickup earlier on. He's also made some good progress. He's got a medallion in hand. He's going to go the full Solar Crest this game, actually, so not often we get to see even a full Solar Crest picked up, but Tavo feels like it's an appropriate item this game for complexity. Has bought it. Oh, that's Z-Freak. Once again, messing with Underlord.
He's just messing around with it. I don't think either of them can kill the other, but actually, Moo, he does have the Atos here.
Yeah. It's like, how much time do you want to waste, though, pursuing this? There's a Vendetta, and yeah, Z-Freak will be good for now.
Yeah, it's a March, doesn't have any detection either. So it's Moo going for the Atos here. It's really nice with the Pit of Malice, because if you time it between the you know, between the ticks, it's a very long disable, because you'll get the 1.8, then you get the 2 seconds there, and then you get the other. So it's like a 5-second disable in the pit. So it's very nice here on the Underlord if they're able to catch anyone.
Yeah, it keeps people nearby to the Sven as well to just beat them down. And speaking of that, Sven into the BKB again, very important. That Will-O-Wisp has already been an issue a couple of times, but the BKB kind of changes that idea, of course, for resolution. So he almost has that finish. 4-staff just finished by Cottle. It's really a position 5 Cottle here. Oh, bottom lane, teleports in. And that's not even top. What am I saying? That's Merkel all the way down here. I thought it was Nature's Prophet for sure. That's just a Troll Warlord running down here, but again, they're just too deep. We saw them do it before attempting on resolution, and it backfired on that one, and the case here. So Troll's trying to make these kills happen with the Nyx Assassin. Unable to conclude them, though.
Yeah, it's a miracle that he didn't get lucky with the bashes, and because they're, you know, literally fighting J.Storm outside their base, their TPs were there. They were ready to turn it around. And with that kill onto Nyx Assassin, no, he's not being that annoying scout on the map there, right here into the Roshan. But this has been noticed by the side of Complexity thanks to this really nice ward.
And Nyx is up in 15 seconds. Chemical Rage just coming off cooldown now for Bryle. He's going to pop it. Shrapnel, of course, annoying. They scan out for sure. Miracle running in. The smoke play. The Will-O-Wisp put down. And here goes Miracle. The timing just a little early, perhaps. But again, the battle trance aggressively. He gets the rid of Resolution. No bash procs happening, though. Resolution still running away, but Tavo cuts him off at the Sprout. Resolution just alive. No, he finally goes down back up into Roshan. Bryle does get the Aegis, but now he needs to get the hell on out of there. As Underlord doing what he can with the Pit of Malice, but he gets a 4-staff away. They do kill Lina as Nature's Prophet takes a stun from Bryle. Bryle, though, going to get Dark Rifted out. March is like, wait, where did you go? He's left alone, but he will just walk the rest. So Aegis is in the hands of Alchemist, at least for J.Storm, but they lose 2 in that fight.
Yeah, so Complexity win the fight, but they get the Aegis on the Alchemist. I still feel it's worth it for Complexity because J.Storm, you know, what does an Aegis enable? It enables you either to be able to farm or to be able to take objectives. And I think for the side of J.Storm, you know, they'll be able to farm the same amount. I don't think Complexity are that much more afraid of an Aegis, and I don't think it's going to net them any sort of objective. So yeah, even though they have the Aegis, I just don't think it's going to change the game around, especially because it's on the Alchemist instead of maybe someone like Sven.
Miracle, he might have stuck around too long. 2 more seconds on the BKB. Doesn't have battle trance either. He's going to pop the BKB. Tavo helping what he can with Sprout. The BKB TP, and they do not have a stopper for it. Miracle gets out. Tavo, different story. He is not getting out of this one, I'm sure. So they will take the Nature's Prophet instead. And that was a BKB use on the Troll Warlord, so I still think J.Storm could be fairly satisfied with that. We mentioned of course, the Aegis they still have on Alchemist. Plenty in time, in fact, as Limp has just been farming away the BKB himself. He needs a couple more creep kills, and he will have it. So middle and bottom lane are also being heavily pushed in by Complexity, so J.Storm does have to address it.
Yeah, Z-Freak's even making these pushes from the trees with the Meteor Hammer. So the tower, you know, they might not realize it unless they check the debuff, but it's slightly getting lower and lower and lower. He's been very good with this meteor hammer, always using it from the trees to not expose himself. You know, always that threat of the Nyx on the map, but all the meanwhile keeping the lane pressure going for the side of Complexity. And this smoke up from the side of J.Storm hasn't netted them another kill.
Miracle. Again, he's in a spot where he's not in the friendliest of places. He is going to be found here, and he has to fight. Troll, Battle Trance going to at least pop it in time. Good play. There's the BKB. No Battle Trance yet. They know that he hasn't used it, so they don't want to go all in for it. He is going to BKB in a run now. Is Brow going in a stun? Can he get the sight? Can he get the sight? LSA hits. Did he get the Battle Trance off? No, he did not. So down goes Troll. He's out for 68. Will-O-Wisp just simply to try to deter them. But no buyback either on Troll, as Keeper of the Light still sticking around. He's got a 4-staff with a concoction with a Rod of Eight-Tails. There's another 4-staff from Limp. 3-4-3. He is going to live in the end. Dark Rift out. Oh my god, Alchemist, if he dies to this, yeah, that would have been something. But with the Dark Rift, he's good to go. Lina makes it out too. J.Storm gets the Troll though, big target.
Yeah, it's a really big kill there on the Troll. Just not playing safely when he doesn't have... I mean, the BKB was coming off cooldown, but without that, you know, BKB TP away, you know, that they will eventually be able to hunt you down and wait for it to end. But nice work by the rest of Complexity, you know, just creating this pressure on the map. You see this tier 3 here, already pretty close to 10% health. And just because of the pressure they create the side of J.Storm, they're not able to continue this push. And even though they get the massive kill of the Troll Warlord, no objective gains from it.
Is under attack.
Sven, Blink Dagger just picked up by him, so that's got to feel pretty good. And interesting there, look at what he has queued up next. Good old late game Battle Fury queued up for Resolution on this Sven.
I mean, it's not a stupid item versus Nature's Prophet, because you have to have this Quelling Blade on you at all times, because if you don't have something like that, the Sprout is basically a BKB piercing disable, which sounds a ridiculous thing to call a Sprout. But, you know, because you have to have this Quelling Blade, you might as well make it an item that works for you and build it into the full Battle Fury. So it's kind of necessary while we watch 3-4-3 in real trouble here against Bryle.
Oh, he's good. No Resolution will finish him off. And now Limp, though, having a BKB for the Stormhammer. He is good, though, so Coddle's one target, but would have been really something if they could get the sniper. But yeah, another BKB use that maybe not the most ideal for Limp, but Z-Freak again pushing out bottom. Mentioned the tower at the tier 3 at the base is very low, so you can manage to get it in there. But the tier 2 mid tower goes down, favoring J.Storm, and they're going to go into the base. Aegis still on Alchemist for about 25 seconds, so we'll keep an eye on that timer, see if that comes into play. Coddle's up at 15.
Obviously, the high ground defense from Complexity is very good because they have a sniper, but they know his BKB's on cooldown, so, you know, there is always a risk if Limp overextends of him just being burst down.
Resolution! He tried to TP in front of them! He gets caught! Time to pop a BKB. Meteor Hammer doesn't hit, and now they turn on a Nyx Assassin. So they do kill Nyx Assassin. We'll call it bait, I guess. But now Aegis has been reclaimed. So yeah, J.Storm doesn't really want to fight this. Fear, is he going to get caught? Alchemist onto the cliff, and he is going to make it out as well. So very close call right there. They did lose Chen, of course, too, but they make it at least a 1-for-1 trade. And considering that was looking a little scary. Look at this fight. Underlord get a Dark Rift to the creep just to get both these bounty runes. Worth it.
I mean, that's really good efficiency, and definitely when you're the team with the Alchemist, helping you claim all 4 bounty runes across the map, you know, that's a hefty chunk of change for you guys. So yeah, that engagement over there, they do stop the TP, but you know, J.Storm, they're all still there, they're all ready to fight, and they take the kill of the Nyx, and it feels like the tides of this game, they have turned towards the side of J.Storm. It feels like the last 5 minutes, they'd be the one finding all the good engagements, getting all the pickoffs. And so I would really like to see the side of Complexity, you know, get their lanes under control once again, and then maybe try to look for a pickoff, go for a smoke, group up together, because they are getting caught out whenever they're alone.
Who is Alchemist giving this scepter to? Obviously, Lina already has one. Is it going to be Sven?
I mean, it gives the god strength to everyone else, and yeah. I can't really think of you don't really need any ancient creeps, and the Underlord Ags, it gives does it give the damage to everyone around you, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I've never actually seen it before, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Yeah.
So I think the gold strength is probably the best one because, you know, does it make everyone more tanky or does it just double their damage? I think it might make everyone more tanky as well. So it's a pretty good axe.
I think it's just the
I'll
damage. I think even on the tooltip it just says damage, 125% for the allies there. But even so, I mean that's a lot. That's definitely a lot of damage.
No, it's exactly. So it's not stupid. The one thing I am curious about is the fact that he's gone for it before. Actually, he does have his Shivas. Actually, he has his armor item. I don't know if there's anything else for him to get, so he might as well get this. You know, before he goes into a Moonshard or something. It's just, you know, sometimes you lose track of how farmed an Alchemist is. And nice use there. They show him on the bottom lane and then they bring him in with the Chen, so they don't know he's here.
Yeah, he had no clue. That recall in. Tavo's gonna get caught. Does he have a buyback? He does. It's out for a minute, and they're gonna go right to the racks in the mid. There's the buyback from Tavo. Fortification not ready. Here comes the high ground defense, though, between Shrapnel and Illuminate. It is pretty damn good for Complexity. And that will continue to be an issue for J.Storm. Resolution even takes the Assassinate. They back off. They could go for the Shrine. That's exactly what they're going to do for now. As they're going to make the best of the situation. So yeah, breaking bases, they need at least one pickup, it feels like, to be able to do that. In fact, Fear, did he go too far? Pit of Malice, and Sven jumps into the backlines. Will-O-Wisp is put down, though, and we got Miracle on the front lines. That Ags coming out with the Laguna Blade. It's not nearly enough damage, though. Lina gets picked off, and Miracle is now beating down. Is that Underlord? It sure is. A gem drops on top of that Prowl. He goes after the Nyx Assassin. Spike Carapace, not going to matter. Prowl cuts him down, but Resolution just couldn't seem to move that whole fight. He gets taken out. March is able to TP in front of Miracle. But Complexity certainly wins that fight. These Will-O-Wisps have really been effective.
Yeah, it's a great Will-O-Wisp catching out a whole bunch of them. Miracle just literally running into the entire team there and finally being able to up his damage that he hasn't been able to do. Complexity, I said they needed to take a smoke engagement, and they just knew where they were at the shrines, and just ran at them. And when they have their 5-man and their BKBs online, they are the more powerful lineup because, you know, even with the Sven BKB, he's not able to live through the damage coming out from the Troll Warlord, and especially now he has the MKB. This Invasion, as well as the Radiance Burn, aren't going to do anything.
Yeah, I was just looking at Sniper's damage recap of the last fight, too. Oh, my God. He did nearly 8,000 damage just sitting back and right-clicking, as a good Sniper does. So clearly a very effective fight for Complexity. If they have the positioning like that, they certainly are going to be winning these future fights as well. But you mentioned the MKB on him. MKB coming for Sniper, as well as he has 3,700 gold saved up currently. In fact, he just buys a Demon Edge for this time. We'll take a look at the buyback. He is now just shy of a buyback, but of course he is continuing to farm and not feeling in the most danger right now. Another Roshan, though, will likely determine a big fight coming out because Roshan's spawning in about a minute. And both of these teams are, of course, going to be very interested. It would be the second Roshan, I believe, right, with the cheese.
Yeah, both these teams, by the way, they're very good at checking Roshan. They're always making sure to put either a Chen creep or a Trient inside the pit. So they're nice work coming out there, and a fight not quite going to erupt around these 35-minute bounties either.
All right, Battle Fury in hand for Sven, and he does have the Ags on top of that, so that's why his net worth really shot up like that as far as being second right now, but the Ags given to him as we kind of expected there for the first one. God Strength, and I say first one, yeah, I wonder, that's probably going to be the only one. Alchemist, in fact, he now even has an Abyssal Blade queued up right now, which is a nice follow.
That is such a nice item on the Alchemist, you know, and it will be great against his Troll Warlord, finally able to hold him in place while he's using that BKB. And, you know, you'll kite the BKB as well as his ulti. And once both those things are over, you know, you do have the disable for the side of J.Storm to take him down.
Saw that gem drop last fight. Does anyone have a gem? Or did they leave it at base or something? No, I don't see it at base.
It's back on Moo.
Okay, Moo did get back. Okay, there you go. Oh, 5-man smoke. They're checking Roshan, who is now spawned. Wiles inside. Shrapnel goes out, though. J.Storm's not going to open just yet. They're wrapping around. Resolution in the front. Looking for a target. Miracle could be that target. He exposes them. He's starting to run off to the north. They catch Nyx Assassin. Spike Carapace still planning light, or the Will-O-Wisp, excuse me, put down. Nyx Assassin is eventually killed off, though. Miracle, he's having trouble finding a target. He gets locked in with the Stormhammer. He has Battle Trance zone. There we go. Finally pops. He gets the Bash Proc on the Sven in the back lines. You see locked in on Sniper from Alchemist. Now Alchemist going for 3-4-3. Wants that kill. Hand of God's not going to save it. 3-for-3 goes down. Bryle, though, he's trying to run. Sprout going to chop through with the Quelling Blade or get through it somehow, but it just doesn't matter. He gets taken out. Miracle now back to him. He gets killed, but Resolution's killed off as well from Sniper. Limp just standing his ground with the BKB. Fear goes down, and Moo has to start running. A triple kill for Limp. Never mind. Limp's like, I got to get the hell on out of here, as Bryle with the buyback is the reason for that. So, again, Sniper's able to find his angles and gets plenty of damage. So it's distraction by both teams. Works out for Complexity, it feels, but they might go back for Roshan.
I was going to talk about that fight. Obviously, it's very important to highlight that J.Storm, they want this Roshan. That's, you know, why they buy back on this Alchemist to try and take that fight. But, you know, they initiate on the Nyx Assassin, and for the side of Complexity, Nyx Assassin isn't a big part of your team fight. His real job is pick off and vision, and, you know, he gave that by dying in the fight. And Miracle, he was just so survivable with both his Battle Trance and his ultimate that he seemed to zone 4 people back while Bryle fought the other 4 people from Complexity. And so Complexity, they were able to take down the Alchemist, and then even though Miracle was able to output a bit of damage, you know, before he went down, and then it was the 4 heroes from Complexity without the Alchemist remaining, and they were able to kill off the other damage deal of Resolution. And once you've lost Resolution and you've lost the Alchemist, there's no real damage output from the side of J.Storm.
Look at this level 20 talent at minus 1.5 second assassinate, so it makes it a half-second cast. That's actually pretty insane. You're considering the damage output you can get from that, and his level 25 is also just around the corner, so we'll see what he gets. Can't say I'm too familiar with 25 snipers in games like this, but they both seem they have their merits, of course. Attack range, 125 attack range sounds just absurd for him, but so does 6 shrapnel charges, so we'll see.
Yeah, most snipers usually go for the attack range because shrapnel at this point in the game, it's mainly for vision, and usually 3 charges is enough for you. But yeah, just going back to this assassinate, it's just so good at interrupting TPs once you get that lower cast time, because you get a vision of anyone trying to TP out, and then from such this long range, you have that disable of the assassinate. That's why I find I use it for most.
Tavo, Scythe is queued up. He's got a Lotus Orb now, so really, Tavo's clearly objective here is he's just here to buff up Troll and even the Sniper as far as keep them protected. He's playing that kind of Nature's Prophet, so he's not necessarily this tank that's doing that, but that clearly is his goal. And oh yeah, the AC buy, I didn't even mention that. The Assault Kuros finished on him as well, so providing plenty of buffs for the team to take advantage of. And to go back to this Roshan, remember that was being done earlier. It's still full, it's nearly full life again now, and she's in hand, so both teams very interested, but it is difficult, especially for J.Storm, just to commit to it. They're dealing against so much, similar to the reason it's hard to push uphill. They really need some kind of pick first.
Yeah, it's fighting in this pit against the Shrapnel, against the Will-O-Wisp, it's just so difficult. But especially for both teams, because you know you don't want to be fighting into the pit of Malice as well as the Firestorm from the Underlord. So that's why neither team, no one feels confident to commit towards this pit.
Bannerine spawning there, I believe it was a 2-for-2. It looks like it was. So again, you have an Alchemist. You really want to make sure to heavy priority on this Bannerine for J.Storm, and Complexity did a good job though of making it at least a 2-for-2 split. And they are going to 4-man smoke. You see the lines drawn, wrapping around to the bottom lane. So Complexity goes down there.
Big item here with the completion of the Hex on Tavo as well.
Are scanning.
Oh, Tavo, he's not here yet, but he could join the quick pick on a Chen. He just evaporated. He has buyback, though. He will use it. The stun, though, from Sven jumping in. They go for the turn on Troll, but he popped the Battle Trance at the last second. Can they turn this now? In comes a Will-O-Wisp. The bash procs on Sven. Sven's dropping quickly. The Hand of God. It's not going to save him initially. The Spirit Vessel's on him as well. The Assassinate coming through. The Dark Rift out. Now Troll Warlord's in trouble. Gets locked down. He gets forced out forward. He goes down, but they save Sven. However, Alchemist is dead with a dieback. He's out for 120 seconds. And you know what time it is for Complexity. It's time to push. Miracle buys back, and Complexity is going to try to finish the game right here, right now, would be my guess.
Yeah, I love that buyback from the Troll Warlord. They don't need him to win the fight, but they need him to take the objectives. And, Fear, the Assassinate. It's not quite enough for the Hex.
He is good. Moo, different story. He's not nearly as fun. He's dead with no buyback. It's 2 heroes versus 5. J.Storm, can they somehow hold? Of course they're going right for tier 4. They have a Troll, for Christ's sake. They're going to go right for it. There's one dead, the second one dropping quickly. It's just Sven and Luna, excuse me. They almost kill Kato, but he gets 4 staff away. He's good. Luna has to get back to the base with the sniper. That's going to be it. Complexity. There's fortification coming out, but Sven, can he really do anything by himself? He's going to throw the stun on a Troll Warlord. Fierka, every time he pokes out, Sniper just snipes him. They get the kill. They get the ancient kill. The Complexity is going to the Miner, representing North America.
Oh, it's just Complexity. You know, lots of teams, they wouldn't use this buyback advantage, but Complexity, they identify, they know Brawl just used his buyback in the previous engagement, and they know how fast they're able to take buildings. So they just go through the middle set of racks, they go towards the tier 4s, and just using your economic advantage, using your buyback advantage, using everything you have at your disposal for the side of Complexity. And I think they're fitting winners here for the side of Complexity. They played this game really, really well here.
They played this game. They played yesterday very well as well, again, against the same team, in fact, in the winter finals that we saw drop in the first game, but they looked strong as a team, and I keep going back to Tavo. This wasn't maybe the prettiest game for him, but he really seems to be fitting in, clicking very well with the squad, and Complexity should be a team to look out for at the minor coming up, especially with 2 spots on the line that then qualified to the major from it. It would not be the most surprising to me if they play like they did here throughout these last couple of days, but that's down the line as far as J.Storm is concerned. Of course, on the other side of it, unfortunate finish for them. They come up just shy, and their focus now will be more about the TI qualifiers. That'll be next in line to look forward to. But Complexity, again, going to the minor, absolutely deserving, representing NA, and excited to see them there, if I say so myself.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm so excited to see this Complexity lineup. It feels like every game we watch them, they grow a little because, you know, here they got off to a decent early start. They killed Bryle once, and then they did very well at split pushing a whole bunch of the lanes, just allowing Limp to be able to get all this farm. And when they started giving off a few pickups, you know, they regrouped and they took that really good fight when J.Storm, they had just taken the tier 3. They backed off to go for the Shrine. Complexity said, we're stronger as a 5-man unit. We know we can take this fight. We have the Basher on Miracle. And that's really when it felt that the game turned massively in favor of Complexity, when they took that fight after they'd lost that tier 3.
That's one of those, I would love to see a reaction video. I'm sure Complexity, they're usually pretty good about that, posting on their media, because especially with the way that game finished. I mean, literally a minute ago from the end, like, that game was still very open and arguably even good at J.Storm for some of it, you know, with the Alchemist and how farmed he was. But just like that, the dieback on Alcapins, and clearly Complexity knew exactly what they're doing from there. They finished the game, and something tells me the reaction was pretty lively. A lot of emotions going on, so look forward to seeing that as well. But that means North America region is going to be wrapping up now, as Complexity again representing as the one team to go to the minor, so congratulations to them. There are still more regions to figure out, though. In fact, let me pull up Wikipedia real quickly, see what we've been dealing with. As far as I know, I believe it's been CIS and China also took place. CIS, it looks like Windstrike. Windstrike actually defeated Na'Vi earlier today, 2-1. So Windstrike is moving on to the minor, representing the CIS region.
Yeah, it's a heartbreak there for Na'Vi, by the way. They were 1 game away from going to the major. They were 1 game away from going to the minor. They beat VP a bunch of times, but they're not going to either of the events. Like, real heartbreak there in the CIS region, just to shout out to Na'Vi there.
The CIS region especially, it's just kind of a side, that continues to be the region of who the hell knows what's going to happen, man. You have Virtus Pro, and then you have just a different team every time, it feels like. It's really ridiculous how just so much can happen in that region. But China, you have eHome and Team Sirius. Team Sirius, so it's Sylar, ASD, Inflame. Okay, makes a little more sense there. So those are the 2 teams representing China.
They beat out Keen, Team Sirius. So Keen, you know, you might remember them, they're previous minor winners, doing well at a bunch of majors, and they're not going to it either. So a bunch of upsets in a bunch of regions, and Dota, I think, is in a very exciting place, or at least it will be when we have the next patch.
Yes, so we still have 3 more regions now to get through. Europe and Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia, in fact, starts tomorrow, or very soon. And let me double check on that. It starts in about 3.5 hours from now. So Southeast Asia's coming up. You have Europe, of course, and Europe's interesting too because there will be 2 teams qualifying from there with 6 teams playing. And then you have South America. Going to be coming back tomorrow, myself at least, and casting the South American region. So looking forward to seeing which of those teams will qualify for the minor event. But again, our coverage for NA will be wrapping up with Complexity advancing on. So Hasbaz, as always, let's give you a chance. Any shout-outs, any last words before we wrap up?
I mean, just a shout out to you, Breaky and Beyond the Summit. Thank you so much for having me. If people in chat, thank you very much for watching. If you didn't think what I was saying is awful, I am a up and coming tier 3, tier 2 kind of caster. So please follow me on Twitter. It does help me out at HasbazGames.
Well, it was fun as always. Ladies and gentlemen, we are wrapping up officially. One more time, congratulations to Complexity. I was BreakyCPK, joined by Hasbaz. Shout out to BTS as well, and shout out to DX Racer. Make those awesome gaming chairs as they support and sponsor this event. Congratulations, Complexity, going to the minor out of North America. We'll see you next time. Again, Southeast Asia starts shortly, then Europe, and then South America the next couple of days. Still plenty of more Dota action to come. Have a good night, guys. See you next time.